What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Jeff Fox Show in stereo as we are kicking it on a football Monday here on the Jeff Fox Show. Remember, you can follow your boy on the Instagram at the Jeff Fox Show. Follow me on Twitter at the Sports Bros and Sports Bros Radio. 2 Twitter accounts, okay? And you can Cash App us, of course, at $ Radio Host 1 and visit the website at thejefffoxshow.com. I share the link. Share the link, everybody. We appreciate you, and we're coming through live on the jefffoxshow.com as well. X Squad Radio, I do believe, and a whole other stuff, man. So we're gonna get right to it here on the show. Should I call it therapy? Should I call it Manic Monday? Should I call it the day after Halloween, which it is? I don't know. Let's bring in my guest, Lorenzo, my co-host, rather, Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas. Yeah.
Yes, I like it when the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild.
Yes. Too bad we can't be going wild for our Dolphins, but we can go wild for our Heat, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, man? I'm going through here trying to make sure.
How was Halloween, bro?
Halloween, we were just out and about. We took Loren to a pumpkin patch, and we took a hayride. We did the family thing. Kind of did it today as opposed to doing it yesterday, where we more than likely was crowded. So that's when I texted you and said, "Hey, I'm out with the fam," but was able to make it back in time. So Halloween was great.
So
she
cute,
did. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. She went trick or treating yesterday around our neighborhood, so she really enjoyed it. And as for me, I mean, it was like a continuous cycle of Halloween Sundays, basically. Yeah. For the last 7 weekends, it's been a Halloween Sunday as the Dolphins have continued to, disappoint their fan base and have lost 7 games in a row. So we're really, disappointed about this. And in our show prep, that you thought I was mad last time, we talked. This game, I got more upset at the Dolphins than I have in quite a long time, because it was the way of the play, the way they played, the way they performed. I mean, it was, and against a team that I consider, and this, to be the best team in the AFC.
Right.
And they competed with them in the first half very well. I'm like, okay, this reminded me of the 2020 Miami Dolphins defense, at least. So we got a sign of that until the end of the first half. But we can go into that. I know you got the highlights, but of course, the Dolphins lose again. I
mean, I enjoyed Halloween. I was Darth Vader. I went to a couple of parties, and I didn't let the Dolphins loss ruin my day. Mm-hmm. I mean, not that it would, but I tried to cheer all my Dolphin friends up.
Okay. And what did you do?
Well, I tried to make them laugh a little bit, and, just kind of just be the entertainer, at the club.
Right.
Cheer their spirits up.
Right. I feel a setup coming.
No, there's no setup. Honestly,
okay.
Like the Dolphins were in the game in the first half.
And could have taken the lead at the end of the second quarter, at the end of the first half, right there in the red zone.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. This team won the first game of the year and then lost 7 in a row.
7 in a row.
That's brutal, man. And I feel for the fan base. And I feel for them because they continue to watch other teams. Listen, the Dolphins can win with their quarterback or with their backup. Around the NFL yesterday, we saw the Saints win with Trevor Siemian as their backup. We saw who else win? We saw the Cowboys win with Cooper Rush.
Yeah, Cooper Rush.
And then you saw the Jets win.
The Jets won. The quarterback threw for 400 yards.
Mike White.
Yeah. And he's the quarterback. And he's the starting quarterback going forward now.
And your Dolphins have lost to the 0-3 Colts, the 0-5 Jaguars.
You might as well say 0-20 Jaguars because they had lost that many games in a row.
Yeah. Like, remember when Martin Lawrence used to go, oh man, like he was in pain.
Oh, no, Gina. And then he would grab his, yeah, exactly. Right.
That's what this feels like, man. And I hate coming in here and giving Dolphin fans more bad news. Mm-hmm. More bad news. But that's all we got.
That's it. I mean, well, the trade deadline is tomorrow at 4 p.m. So
I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think it is going to happen.
You do?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think so. And Tua will not be part of the trade.
Oh, you don't think Tua's leaving?
No, I don't think they want. They got Tyrod Taylor might be coming back. You think they want Tua when they have Tyrod Taylor? No, and if I was the Dolphins, I wouldn't trade Tua right now because you don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. So put some contingencies in the agreement with the trade. You go ahead and give them 3 number ones and maybe throw in there Devontae Parker because you got to trade the salaries. Deshaun Watson's making $10 million this year. And Devontae Parker is making, I think, $12 million. So to free up some space, you got to probably get rid of somebody and just send him over there, And then at least going forward, you have your franchise quarterback next year. Even if the NFL decides to come out and suspend him for 6 to 8 games, you still have your quarterback and you're able to showcase Tua. That's the bottom line. That's what the Dolphins want. The Dolphins want to know. And the thing is, I believe these civil suits, it's going to get settled. It'll get settled. Yeah. It'll get settled. He hasn't been charged. He hasn't been indicted. It'll get settled.
Poor stories. I mean, Dolphins lose 26-11 at Buffalo, and Josh Allen had himself a party. Meanwhile, Tua was 21 of 39 for 205 with an interception. And, I struggled to find anything good about the Dolphins. I will say the defense did a great job keeping the Bills wrapped up in the first half. But in the second half, Josh Allen got loose a little bit.
Play number 9 on the drive. Allen over the middle to Diggs. Touchdown.
Yep. That was rough. And then you know what it was, Lorenzo? The play that we talked about this earlier today. And you said that Josh Allen basically punked the Dolphin defense.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. And then
he's physical.
And the Dolphins end up punking themselves when they got the ball back after he ran that touchdown in, and then the Bills attempted to go for 2. You know what I'm saying? That's really just literally rubbing it in your face. But when you have the game won after Tua threw that interception, basically the game is done right then and there. It's, what is it at that point? I think it is 17-11. No, actually it was 20-11 because they kicked the field goal. So it was 20-11. And basically it is a little more than 2 minutes left to go in the game. Run the ball. But you have your quarterback run the ball. You put your quarterback at risk to run the ball. Basically,
he's a franchise quarterback, and he's scared of nobody.
And the game is over, and you're running like that, and no one is popping him in the mouth. I mean,
he's scared of nobody on that Dolphin defense.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Yesterday. Yeah, so basically, but when you have the opportunity, I mean, as a defensive lineman and a linebacker, and even those in the secondary, when you blitz, and you have a chance to, you really can't hit him the way you really want to hit him because you can't fall on him. You got to basically follow the rules and the protections that the quarterbacks have. But when he comes out of that pocket and starts running outside those hash marks, you better hit him.
Josh Allen was playing big boy football yesterday. Let's take a look.
3rd and 6. Play fake. Allen on the move, trying to keep it himself. Allen cuts up and in. Touchdown.
And even on that play, Xavier Howard could have come up and hit him. Xavier Howard, our best player as the cornerback, could have come up and hit him.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He didn't hit him.
Flexing on him.
He didn't.
He was flexing on him. Damn.
And then after that, that made it 26-11. And then they attempt. Why are they going for 2 points? Why are they going for 2 points? Really? It's 26-11, and you're going for 2?
Hey, man.
Come on, man.
You know, it's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is the bottom line here. That's a quarterback in your division. So if you want to be able to win your division, first and foremost, you have to have elite quarterback play in order to beat Josh Allen. First and foremost, that's what you got to look at, looking in your division right now. So what do you have to do? You have to go out there and get an elite quarterback. You ain't got time to wait. You lost 7 in a row to these guys, and the last time you beat them, or we beat them, is when Charles Clay dropped the touch. We were at that game. I was in the end zone at that point when Charles Clay dropped that pass in the end zone. That's the only time that Josh Allen has lost to the Miami Dolphins.
Clay reference here on the Jeff Fox Show today.
That's right. Well, that's what
done, Lorenzo Thomas.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's the last time the Dolphins have beat the Buffalo Bills. So, you have to go out there and get that elite quarterback.
7 consecutive victories by Buffalo over your Miami Dolphins. 7 consecutive. Even O.J. Simpson, who never beat he beat the Dolphins once. I think the Juice beat the Dolphins once. Even he was talking big-ish yesterday.
Hey, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly, at one of my favorite places. We call it Rich Stadium back then. Hard to believe that it was like 48 years ago that we opened this stadium. It was my 5th year in the league. And it was a year that I gained 2,000 yards in 14 games. And as a team, we went over 3,000 yards, which was an NFL record. And I got to add, it was only in 14 games back then. Well, they're playing the Miami Dolphins, my Bills. And when I was in Buffalo, my rookie year, we beat the Dolphins. Never beat them again.
Yep. Never beat them again.
Yeah.
Dolphins beat the Bills like
20 straight games.
You remember that, Lorenzo?
20 straight games we beat Buffalo.
That took years.
Yeah. 20 straight.
That took years.
That's 2 decades, if my math is right.
I thought the Bills were never going to beat the Dolphins. Now look where we are today.
Yeah, but then also when the Bills went to those 4 straight Super Bowls, they knocked the Dolphins out of the playoffs a couple of times. So we have some issues with in fact, one of the I think it was 1992 where the Dolphins had home field advantage and the Buffalo Bills came in here and knocked off the Miami Dolphins. And what I remember more than anything else in that game is Thurman Thomas and the Miami Dolphins' inability to stop the screen pass. They couldn't do that. And in this game, once Buffalo went back into the locker room, they said, okay, we know we beat these guys before. What did we do last time? And what the Dolphins did in free agency was they signed Justin Coleman. Coleman was supposed to be the slot wide receiver on defense, slot cornerback that was signed in the offseason to help the Miami Dolphins stop Cole Beasley. Because in game 2 at Hard Rock Stadium, Cole Beasley just lit the Miami Dolphins up. So what they did was they made the adjustments at halftime. He said, we're going to go back and do what we did the last time we played the Miami Dolphins, and Cole Beasley was a beast, and he ended up ending the game with 10 receptions for, I believe it was 110 yards. And Nick Needham was the one that was checking him in the game at Hard Rock. He was checking him again in the game on Sunday, and they had to take Nick Needham out and put Coleman in to try to slow down Cole Beasley. And Cole Beasley basically turned that entire game around because the Buffalo Bills only had 5 first downs in the first half.
Yeah.
That was it. They had 5 first downs in the first half, and then in the second half, the Dolphins came out with 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
Defense is not going to stop any. You're not going to stop. It's demoralizing to a defense. You get the ball, you come out, 3-and-out. Defense comes out. Boom. Scored upon.
3 consecutive 3-and-outs for the Miami Dolphins starting the third quarter.
Yep.
Yesterday. So it was lights out, man. It was a tough day for the Miami Dolphins. Not so for the Dallas Cowboys, who went with a backup quarterback. And we'll be joined, Lorenzo, by Kevin Gray, my good friend from the X Squad Network, and who is in Dallas at 105.3 The Fan. He was there. He saw all the action up close. And the legend of Cooper Rush is upon us.
The legend, okay.
The legend of Cooper Rush. Let's welcome Kevin Gray right now. We'll blow off the commercial for you, sir. We'll blow off the commercial.
You sure you don't have to pay the bills? I know you got to pay the bills. You sure you don't have to pay the bills?
We'll blow the commercials off this segment.
Okay, I feel honored that you
you're gonna make it big, sir. You're gonna
so you're saying I owe you is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should be a little something.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you were on NBC last night. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm doing well, man. Appreciate being on with you guys.
Pleasure to meet you, Kevin. Pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
No doubt, man. So the Cowboys win in Minnesota in a game that I predicted that they would lose. I thought the crowd, Kirk Cousins, Cook, the Vikings D. Well, you guys found a way. What a resilient win.
Yeah, found a way, got a resilient win on the road to go to 6-1 on the season. Give Cooper Rush a lot of credit. He was not the only former Dallas Cowboy backup quarterback to get out there and play well. We saw what Mike White did with the Jets against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. Dak Prescott out with the strained right calf muscle, but Cooper Rush steps in his first NFL start, throws for 325, including the game winner to Amari Cooper. So give Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit for putting Cooper Rush in the best position to succeed and utilizing the playmakers that they got. CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper both going over 100 yards. So all around a collective team win for a team that showed that they can continue to overcome adversity. And they did so again in a hostile environment on the road in Minnesota last night.
I mean, they had to get a lot of confidence from that win, and with them having a couple of games lead in that half-ass division, if you want to call it.
I mean, the division's bad. It's bad,
and the schedule is so good for the Cowboys going forward.
I think you might be able to rest Dak the week.
Yeah,
why play him?
That's interesting because that's starting to become some of the conversation as they get ready to take on the Broncos on Sunday. Could you get away with potentially sitting Dak Prescott again, especially now that Von Miller will be at AT&T Stadium on Sunday? So things looking better and better already as the week goes on. But Dak Prescott wants to play. He said it during Hard Knocks, during the start of training camp, like he's tired of missing games. He was real close to playing on Sunday night, but we'll see once they get back to practice on Wednesday where he's at and if he's going to be able to go on Sunday. If not, Cooper Rush will get the start again.
I have a question, Jeff. Now, I'm not sure that he has a strained calf. Now, is that on the same leg where he broke the ankle?
It is.
It is. Okay.
Is on that right side. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he could be straining it as well with all the activity that he's had, and that's how his body is reacting to the extensive motions and running and all the things that he's been doing. That's an effect of the ankle, and now it's affecting the calf. So he probably definitely does need a lot of time to allow it to recover.
Yeah, it's interesting, and that's right, because Michelle Tafoya on the NBC broadcast last night said, "Hey, this could be a 4-week thing,
right?
Because so for some reason the Cowboys and calf muscles have been an issue because Michael Gallup is still dealing with his. He's supposed to be coming back potentially this week against the Broncos. So the Cowboys have had to deal with calf injuries this year, and Dak Prescott's the latest one. But the way that the Cowboys have tried to slow play it, the bye week helped a lot with his ability to kind of, get himself, close to playing against Minnesota. So we'll see as the week goes on. The hope is that he can play on Sunday. But the Cowboys, they said, look, we'll lose a battle if we had to to ultimately, win the quote unquote war, if you will. But Cooper Rush was able to help them win that battle too, so they can keep going as far as their 6-1 record is concerned.
And it kind of reminds me, you could take a page out of what happened in that NFC East with Alex Smith and how his injury, of course, it wasn't as severe as Alex Smith, but because of the injury he had to his leg, and it started to affect. I believe it started didn't affect his calf as well. He had calf injuries, which kind of it started. If I remember correctly, I think it was his calf because he was of the injury. So it's so many different ways where the body can react to injuries. So I would definitely take a look at this and take it 1 week at a time as he heals with that calf, because you don't want it to become worse, because he still may be recovering from the ankle as well.
Yeah.
Well, again, that defense, though, they're a revelation to me. Like, I had no idea. You guys are flying.
We didn't either.
Yeah. Micah Parsons, I mean, good Lord. Randy Gregory, and the kid Diggs in the secondary. I mean, even though he had a penalty last night trying to keep up with the Vikings receiver. What's his name?
Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah. But listen, man, that Dallas defense, I think, and I'm not overreacting here, but I think Michael Irvin and a lot of the famous Dallas Cowboy fans that I do know can smile this year, because I think y'all going straight to the chip. The only team that are in your way are the Rams and the Cowboys themselves.
Yeah, the NFC is really good. I mean, you got the Rams there, you've got the Cardinals, you've got the Bucks, you've got the Packers. You've got some really good teams in this NFC right now, and give the Cowboys credit. They're handling their business as far as the division is concerned, which is the most important thing to make sure you get into the tournament. But as you mentioned, defensively, Dan Quinn has turned this defense around, and they've been led by two young guys, a second-year player and Trayvon Diggs, got 7 picks now in 7 games, didn't get one last night. But Micah Parsons reintroduced himself to the Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Last night, had 11 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, was a monster all over the field, and really helped stabilize this Cowboys defense. Held Dalvin Cook without a catch for only the second time in his career. Kirk Cousins only threw for $184. The Cowboys played well. I mean, this is a team that going into Sunday night, was 5th in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game. So you give Dan Quinn a lot of credit for what he's done, changing the culture of this defense. They used their first 6 picks on the defensive side of the ball this year in the this past NFL draft. So the calling card for this team and the way that they've been able to win games, obviously the offense has been spectacular. Number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, all the statistics that come with that. But it's been how this defense has been able to at least be competent enough to where they're not losing football games. And as you saw yesterday, we're able to really win that game against the Minnesota Vikings on the road to give Cooper Rush a chance to make some plays, in the second half, which ultimately he did. But yeah, Dan Quinn has done a tremendous job turning this defense around for sure.
Does your head coach get any credit here? Because I remember he was getting a lot of flack for his clock management issues. He seems to have gotten himself together with that. And again, this appears to be a very, very deep and resilient Dallas Cowboy team that's playing with an attitude.
Yeah, definitely playing with an attitude. And I think the best part about Mike McCarthy this season, he's just gotten out of the way, for the most part. There's been some times this year where you've questioned, his clock management, against the Chargers, ultimately Greg Zuerlein bailed him out. You've seen some different things where folks have brought into question whether or not he ultimately knows what he's doing from that standpoint. But when you look around the NFL, a lot of coaches aren't necessarily great at clock management. That doesn't mean you won't necessarily want yours to be bad at it. But at the same time, his players have been able to overcome, some questionable decisions at times. But I think the biggest difference in Mike McCarthy from year 1 to year 2 is his ability to trust what his coordinators are doing. He's allowed Kellen Moore to cook all season long, the offensive coordinator there.
He's doing a great job, by the way, too.
He's doing a fantastic job, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's a head coach, next year with some openings, potentially happening. And then, of course, with Dan Quinn, and we talked about what he's done. So the best thing that Mike McCarthy's pretty much done